Syempre, haven't talked in a while. If you have questions, you can ask. Syempre, I won't type right now, but I can talk. So for those who have nothing better to do, this will probably take an hour. Miracles take a while. Hi Ariel, hi Karen. So for those who'd like or who are wondering, I'm using because of dami ko, art philosophy watercolors, and I'm using my silver black velvet paintbrush size 6 and Canson watercolor paper. Let me check. It is 200 GSM, so it should hold quite a lot of water as against student grade. Yes, I agree, and I'm creative and productive at the end of it all, no? Instead of just doing things that are not, how do you say, are not in my power to control. So worthwhile thing to do, yes. Okay, so I'm using a palette Nelia Velasquez. So I'm using a palette. Oh, what's this? The palette colors are pre-chosen, but I'm going to go across palettes. So the secret is you skip spaces, because if you go to the areas that are wet, the colors will run into each other. I pass. Okay, so when I do floral wreaths, I don't have a guide. I just keep painting, and if it's not round or symmetrical, hi Lito, I just fix it later on with the leaves. The leaves in the end give the wreath a shape. So for those who are tuning in right now, hi Mommy Mao. In about an hour. Oh, thank you, Ariel. Practice makes permanent. So while the paint is wet, I can introduce other colors to give a different tone to the painting. I just have to be very careful, because if the painting is wet, the water will run. Okay, so I'll just keep adding and adding and adding. I'm using the same brush. In many cases, people change brushes. My left hand will always have another brush because tendency is to help yourself. So let's say a dry brush is there, so just in case you have a mishap, the dry brush can pull the water out. And at the same time, the dry brush is a backup brush. I'm holding a mop brush, so this holds a lot of water. And the idea is to put a lot of water or paint on the paper and make sure that the paper, hey Kay, doesn't dry, make sure that the paint doesn't dry too quickly. You have to paint before it dries. Otherwise, you cannot control. I think it's time for me to get back to watercolor. Yes, please. Very relaxing. And as you can tell, it calms me down. Hey, Jesslyn. How's Singapore? Jesslyn is my friend from Singapore. We were in India together. We did the international, the global summit of Nirvana. So the colors I'm using comes from the Woodlands palette. It says Prima Watercolors right there, but they've changed their name to Art Philosophy. So if you see Art Philosophy, it's the same company. Prima has another group. They do scrapbooking items. So maybe not to confuse people, they opened Art Philosophy. Okay, so right now colors are corny. We're just building. Thing with watercolor is that it likes layers, and when you have layers, I'm moving things around. This is the Tropicals palette, and when you have layers, the darker it becomes, no, the more intense the colors. For those who are tuning in, it's meditation time. How do you meditate? Meditation is usually, sitting still and trying to think, trying to focus on something, yeah? lose definition, but that's pretty much it. So for those who are watching, you may want to think well and hard with me. Okay? How are you breathing? Are you breathing? Oh, hi, Dots. Are you breathing through your nose? How are you exhaling? Exhale properly so that you can release all the carbon dioxide gases from your system. I don't hold my breath per se. I let it go. You may as well let go of anger and fear and distrust. Hey Raven. No, I breathe normally. I just make sure that I don't hold my breath. Okay? Because when you hold your breath, you keep your carbon dioxide inside the system, your body. And there's no point. Your body doesn't need the carbon dioxide. Your plants do. Okay. So I'm just loading orange. You cannot see it. Let's try for an open, a side bird flower. I wonder. And then later, let's see if we can let's do some cats. Have you been practicing? Cats was a student, diba? You took a class with me. You did. And so it's important to practice. So I'm moving the paper around because if I'm in the area that is wet, then I can't work. Okay. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Doesn't matter how the paintbrush lands, but you can fix it. Hello, Maritas. Okay, today I was able to fix the camera low so I can see people who are chiming in. Okay, people usually ask, flowers lang ba? Yes. No, sige. Last night, I did a boatscape. Meaning, I tried my hand at doing a boat scene. Sige, let me go get my past boat scenes. Here they are. Hello, Lori. So, this was last night's. Okay, and then at some point in time, I did another one. Medyo camera is too low. I cannot totally put it. There's my boot. Malaki siya. Maybe if you look at my IG, you'll see the past ones. Okay, maybe not today na lang. Take my hand. Naku, gusto ko na kumanta. Let us not sing. Okay. Thank you for the love. Okay. Usually the light colors I do in the beginning or at the end. I can't decide. Here I am using naman Odyssey. So the white, sorry, the yellows, ganyan, I'll do last. Okay. And then we'll just do super easy. Let's round those out. And when you load the paintbrush with water, it becomes a little rounder. And if it isn't, then fix it. The nice thing about loose florals is that wala akong pinagkokopyahan. So, hindi siya pangit. Walang point of comparison. Okay, I'll leave that empty, the middle portion. I will fill it up later. Okay, balik tayo dito sa orange. Now that it's dry, babalikan ko yung ibabaw. And I will close the flower. Okay, bahala na. Okay, maybe we can put another rose here. And I will make it almost an orange-gray color. Oh, hindi na lang rose. Gawa tayo ng... Yan na. Nag-mix na yung colors. But that's okay. That's what makes it pretty. Okay, and we have variety. So you have big, you have small. Nobody's going to ask me anything. Pwede naman. I am calm enough to talk and paint. This one is terrain. And let's see what we can do with some colors I find here. So for those who are watching, you may want to subscribe to my YouTube and my Instagram pages. Pretty please. So that you know when I have a new painting that's out. It will buzz you right away. Diba? What color do you want me to add? Dadami dito. And I'm reaching for the Pastel Dreams. Oopsie. Okay, I'm just loading color. A pink and a brown. One of those shaky styles. Usually reserved for triangular brushes and cat's tongue. Okay. Minsan, pwede din tamihan or dagdagan ng layers. That's for the pasmado effect. Keep going until you have a semblance. Hello, Dana. Hello, Kevin. Kumusta sa Australia, Kevin? Mayroon ba tayong competitions coming up, or are you also under lockdown? Because here we're all supposed to stay home and save lives. Okay, I'm using blue. I'll try what I did the last time. I'm going to make poppies. Okay, this looks unfinished, but I will finish it later. I need to wet the brush and work inside using the existing paint. Okay, there for the moment. Later I'm going to come back to this specific flower with these specific colors. I'm going to do a wet on dry. Okay, let's see. Oh, so some middles are already dry. Let's go back to them. Okay. Oh, this is my, when I take workshops, as in I'm the student, they usually give me a palette and then they put paint on the palette as your take home. So they squeeze paint. And this must be Shinhan. And also DS, Daniel Smith. And when it's Daniel Smith, yeah, quality yan. Takes you forever to finish. Okay, this is the Dut Dut. Can be a marigold, can be anything you want, as long as it's bulbous. It is round. Yeah. And that's a typical filler. I can do it here. Just add water and dot dot. Okay. So usually when I start a painting, I don't know what color combination or what's going to come out. I just believe. And for those who've seen my other paintings, you'll notice that I pretty much use the same strokes the same flowers. I just changed the color and the positioning. Okay, see? Dot dot. Dot dot style works. While it's wet, let's put some stems or leaves inside. Let's do this one first since this one is drying. It's okay if it mixes. There. Questions, students? Okay, it doesn't look as pretty as it can, but wait lang kayo. Meron pa yan. May ikaganda pa yan. I'm just deciding what palette to take colors from. Okay, I found the color I want. And I'm going to do it again. Okay. So, notice when you do filler flowers, try to go odd number, okay, because when it's even, it's not as pretty. Thank you for the love. Okay, right now let's add connecting stems. Okay lang if the colors blend in. Okay. I'll start a few leaves now. Okay, this is therapy for me because I tend to be obsessive compulsive with rules, with lines, with promises. And what I've noticed with watercolor or art therapy is that sometimes it doesn't go as planned, or you don't know what you're going to end up getting, and that has been a big help for me in my in changing, because I would tend to get really upset when plans don't go accordingly. Okay. And the nice thing about watercolor is that it helps your patience. So you have to wait. Yeah, I agree. You have to wait for things to dry before you move on. Or if things go wrong, move on pa rin. And color. You know, color helps because color makes you suddenly happy. And who has looked at flowers and not smiled, right? Okay, remember the poppies, these ones? Okay, they're dry, so that means I can paint another layer on them using the blue I used earlier on. Okay, so this is what you're going to do now. You're going to load the brush, and then you're going to do, oopsie, very colorful. Remove paint from the brush. And do, okay, remember that dry brush I had? We're going to lift paint. Yan. Going to remove paint from that stroke. I'm just trying it on a piece of tissue. Okay, because that's too much water, and sometimes too much is also not good. Okay, clean, dry, and pull. There, you remove color. Again, it's wet, so lift. I usually do live painting very quietly, but today I'm talking because I miss the sound of my voice and I miss hearing people talk. That's what this lockdown can do to people. Okay, so let's move the paper around and let's see. Let's add. Don't have yellow, no? Let's do a happy yellow. I've got loading the brush with lots of yellow. Okay, and let's add like bulbs, and sometimes they don't need to look specifically like a specific flower that you know. The idea is just to introduce the idea of a flower that you think you know. Okay, then let's add, while it's wet, okay, the tips of it. So we're adding color. Yan. Parang masyadong basa, no? Let's remove. Let's remove some paint. For those who are watching, thank you. Still trying to fill it in. So as you can see, let's see, recap. We are doing some kind of a wreath. It is not perfectly oval or oblongish, but the idea will change once we add more leaves. Okay, And right now, our leaves are still not there. So we are just going slow. As you can tell, I have nowhere to go and no one to talk to. So we will just do this slowly, casually, but deliberately. Okay, let's add. Okay, you know what? This blue one, it needs something. Why don't we add like a fleshy pink? Okay, like a nothing color. And then we'll let that dry a bit. And then we will add a almost black. Okay. What I learned was mahirap mag-black sa painting. So you go dark gray. So peripheral lang dapat. It will mix on its own. And if I really want, I can, as I said, lift. Okay, this is the emergency style. That's why you have to have a second brush with you so you can clean out or remove the mistake as soon as you can. Maybe a happier yellow. Hello, Andrian. Hello, Paula. Oh, Paula, belated happy birthday. There you go. I changed the color. It's a little happier now. Okay, for those who are just tuning in. Oops, wrong brush. I'm slowly filling in a page, so wreath siya. And for those who started with me close to an hour ago, the colors are not as pretty without leaves. Okay, I don't know if you'll notice, but leaves bring out the color of the flowers, especially if they're red or pink. Okay, and that's why it's not yet as pretty. Soon, wait, maybe I should start turning on light. Dumidilim na dito. Okay, I don't like that. This one. How's that? Yan. Let's add too dark. Let's add water. Who's that? Marianne. Hello. Okay, saving. I am removing yung mga masyadong madilim na strokes with a dry brush. And that's the way to save your painting from a bigger disaster than it was. Yan. Okay. Maybe this one is too dark. Whoops. Sobra. Ayusin. Yan. Hi, Tita Alice. Tita Alice, how long have we not been dancing? Or maybe you're dancing, but I'm just not dancing where you dance. Tita Alice is an interior designer, designer. So if you want an ID, contact Tita Alice. Questions, anyone? Eunice, hello. Okay, wait, I'm just moving the paint. And I'm cleaning my brushes. So the pansamantalang brush for drying mistakes. Super clean dapat. Hindi pwede mahawaan. So I'll leave that there first. And then the other brush so that I can change my color green. Okay, let's see. I'm just loading a color green. Okay, I'll show you something, guys. Yung mga ganito, we never clean these. Hi, Patsy, first cousin. So we never clean these because these are a source of paint and color. That's the nice thing about watercolor, is that it doesn't get panis. Is that the word? It doesn't spoil. So you can just keep reconstituting or wetting what has dried, and then it's ready to use. Okay. Why don't you type, guys, what you're doing this afternoon aside from watching me? Are you done eating lunch? My lunch was beef stick. There. So same brush, different stroke. Different leaf. Yeah. Hi, Rachel. And turn the paper around again. Change the green. So change also the sizes of the leaves. It creates interesting features. I mean, your painting suddenly has nice shapes that you're playing with. No questions. Okay. I'll just keep painting. What time did you guys wake up? I woke up lunchtime. Grabe. Hard to keep the time nowadays because of I really don't know what time it is already. You know, since I don't need to go out, I have no call time. There's no need to wake up exactly at 6 a.m. like I used to. And then people are awake in the middle of the night. Mga chat threads. So you're discussing things super late into the night. Hi. No ballroom dancing. No dancing whatsoever. That's why we're painting. Where else? Ito si purple. Lagyan natin ng flowers. Slowly, slowly. So this one is a yellowish brown leaf. Yeah, looks like let's make the most of it. Just keep turning the page around. Hmm. Uh-oh. There's actually a checkpoint and a tent right outside my condo building. So, but it's the first time I hear the sirens go off. I wonder why. Suddenly tired talking. I'll just find the way to. Remember the dry brush. There. Looks better when it has less green. Okay. And then color green. There. And then when all else fails, we can add berries. What color will my berries be? Some kind of purple. A happy purple. Again, try to go in batches of 3. It is more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, there's that. What else? Here. 1. And you have to start small so that you can perfect the circle or the sphere. Otherwise, if you start too big, you'll have gigantic berries. Especially if you can't control your brush. Okay. Sometimes people use the butt of the paintbrush to make dots. That's perfectly acceptable also. Maybe next time though, not right now. Just adding water. Ayan. Just keep turning the paper around and around and around. Especially when I see spaces that need filling. Okay, so let us return to some spots. How's that? So now I'm just adding really light leaves left and right. Because there's some, hi girly, there's some sections that are still kalbo. Okay, and this way the painting looks symmetrical. I hear the church bells. It is 6 o'clock. Okay, I'm happy. It's done. And thank you for watching. Subscribe, IG and YouTube, Rosanne Araneta. Thank you again.